I've clicked add to cart more times than I want to admit, and I guess I thought it would make November and December more meaningful somehow. Okay, I usually don't do random videos like this out of the blue, but I wanted to share something with you before the holiday season starts. So the holiday season comes around and all of a sudden our feeds are exploding with advent calendar bundles and Christmas holiday unit studies and Thanksgiving printables and all of these things to purchase. And it's another it's a great thing, don't get me wrong, because I found so many great unit studies and things through these advertisements. I have fallen to not the trap, but I've just fallen into that spiral of, oh, I need to buy this and I need to buy this. And oh yeah, last year's unit study, that one isn't that great, or I've already done it. The kids won't enjoy it again. And or they're older, like in my case, they're older and I can't adapt, I can't make it current, so I gotta get something new. And there's already so much overconsumption. Let's just be honest with ourselves. And I want you to think of a few things before you think about purchasing that unit study, or before you think about getting the latest Advent bundle or whatever it is that is out there. I have clicked the add to cart button more times than I can tell you. And I just want to help you think through things before you make that click. And I just realized that throughout the years, and especially just being more aware of overconsumption, that it's more about the connection and the calmness of the season and just connecting rather than the stuff. And please don't get me wrong here. Adding new resources is fine, but I think we need to be more resourceful and use what we have and purchase things that can be used over and over and over again. I am embarrassed with the amount of Christmas unit studies and things along those lines that I already have. And I've reused one or two of them, but like I said, I've fallen into the trap of, oh wow, this looks so good and this looks so pretty, so let me use it. So I just have a few things that I want you to think about, and I'd like to share with you some of the ways that I am going to stay away from adding to cart, just getting caught up in that trap. And I also want to give you some questions to think about before you make a purchase. Because again, I'm not saying that the purchases are bad. I'm just saying that we can be more resourceful. And if we have some new ideas, like this year, for example, with my kids being older and they're all teenagers and they're all in high school, I am looking at things that we can do for family time and incorporate that, and things that will add to our traditions rather than something that will only be used for a week or two. As I was going through my database on my computer, let's just start there. You can see here where I have items, holiday items with dates of things from the past that I have downloaded. And some of these things I have used, some of these things I've shared with you. So the thought behind that is, why not use it again? Why not use those free items or some of the things that I already purchased? And chances are you too have half a dozen unit studies in your digital download folder, or maybe a whole stack of Christmas picture books that weren't read or devotionals that you just didn't finish. And let me remind you to reuse these items. That favorite read aloud from a couple years ago, that craft idea that you can probably tweak and elevate. And go to the library, check out some new library books instead of purchasing. Now, there's a few questions that I want you to think about before you decide to purchase anything, if that's what you're going to do. Will this purchase add joy or stress to the holiday season? Is this purchase going to help me simplify or complicate my homeschool schedule? Do I already have something similar and I just never finished it? Can I adapt to what we already have instead of buying something new? And is this purchase based off of inspiration, or is it just pressure from what I'm seeing everybody else do online? Here are some distractions that you might want to stay away from so that you don't fall into this trap. Stay away from endless scrolling through the holiday must-have lists, the posts, the TikTok, the reels, everything else. Those must-have lists, you know what I'm talking about. Stay away from comparing your homeschool to somebody else's perfect Instagram feed. And by the way, there's no perfect Instagram post, reel, setting, etc. Nobody's perfect. Stay away from thinking that every single season that comes around, you need the latest and the greatest new unit study that's out there. Stay away from downloading excessive free items and you just don't use them. And stay away from believing that the more stuff you have, the more meaningful it's going to make this season. I would think adding something in that you can do together as a family that you can repurpose, like a Lego set or an advent calendar that is similar to an escape room, or there's another one, or Clue or something along those lines, that once you use it, and a lot of times those things are one-time use, but once you use it, you have some leftover pieces that maybe the following year you can create something on your own and put it together, or put it together as a scrapbook in a few months, or use it in your journal or your scrapbook right now for your family album or something like that. Just something that you can repurpose, and then next year you do the same thing. Or an experience. How about a scavenger hunt through your city, or some sort of other experience? And if you're going to look into using unit studies and things like that, Christmas around the world or any other type of holiday printable, no matter what your kids' ages are, just take into consideration what you already have, what you can recycle and use, and take into consideration, is there a way for me to reuse it year after year and elevate it? And also just strongly resist the urge the best way you can to not, I guess, impulse buy. I guess that's the bottom line. And so, like I said, this is just one of those that I threw together, wanted to come on here, and it was just bothering me. And I know that I too have fallen in that trap in the years past, and wanted to especially speak to the new homeschooling moms about this and make sure that you just don't fall into that trap. Okay, I'm done. We'll see you in the next video.